What's up, guys? We are live here breaking down UFC Vegas 9. And I don't know, I actually like this card quite a bit. I think there's a lot of great fights on this card. I think there's going to be a lot of finishes as well. As you guys may know, we are down to 9 fights on the card. So it's going to be very interesting from a Draftkings perspective. And I can't wait to talk some Draftkings because there is going to be a lot of strategy involved on this slate in particular, because there seems like there's a ton of live underdogs. I was just messing around making lineups, and I could make pretty much any lineup I wanted, and I had like over 1,000 left over on most lineups that I liked. So I think DraftKings is going to be really fun. Coming off of a pretty good week last week, I had 3 bets, went 2-1. The first one was a parlay with Sean Brady and Ricardo Lamas. Got a little sweat going there with Lamas, but he was able to have a fantastic third round. Had 2.5 units on that at minus 150 there. I had Sean Brady inside the distance, got it at plus 150. Fantastic line. He was a minus 400 favorite. There was some recency bias with his 2 UFC fights where he went to a decision, was able to get a beautiful submission on Aguilera there, had 1.5 units on that at plus 150. Like I said, fantastic line. And then the one loss on the night, no shame in it. Rico by decision plus 190. And wow, it was very, very close to hitting. I thought that Rico won the first. You could have gave the second to Cummings. And I thought the third was going to Rico. It was very close, though. And then all of a sudden, a nasty Cummings head kick with 1 second left to give Cummings the decision there. But, man, no shame in that plus 190 in a fight that was 50-50. And if Rico did win, it would be by decision. So went plus 2.92 units on the night. No shame in that whatsoever. I did have a bet on the Ankalaev fight, but that fight fell through. Maybe we'll get to see it one day, maybe not. But on to this card. And like I said, this card is going to be fun. You have a beautiful main event. OSP and Minifield. We have an amazing main event. Sakai and Overeem. And then the people's main event of Michelle Pereira versus Imidazov. I really can't wait to see that fight. And we'll talk more about that soon. But what's up, guys? We have about 70 in the chat. Wait for more people to come in here, and then we'll get started. What's up, Liam there? What's up, Dave? What's up, Jordan? What's up, Joseph? What's up, Austin? Yeah, thank you guys for 6K. Means a lot. Beautiful. To be able to get to 6,000 subscribers, cannot do without you guys. Really means a lot to me. What's up, Gaming Wolf? It was a decent last week, but the stack was a surprise. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit as well. What's up, Wesley? What's up, Sosa? What's up, Will? Early thoughts on Shamaya versus Maya. Man, is that really a thing? What's up, Buffo? Smash that like button. What's up? Just Bleed? Yes, let's do it again. So, yeah, last week from a DraftKings perspective, I was really close to hitting the optimal lineup, and I had a bunch of shots too. I needed either Smith, Kim, or Cyphers, which Cyphers almost won the fight, to outscore Algio for a share of the winning lineup. Really, really close. But the dude that took it down solo, and he had the same lineup 3 times. So congrats to him. I don't know if it was some accident or if he did it on purpose, but that's pretty crazy there. Yeah, the 100K and 30K both stacked Lamas and Algio last week. That is very true. But we're going to get to it here with the first fight of the night. And you guys know me in the first fight of the night. It's a fight you typically want to target. It's a fight that no matter who seems to be fighting, it seems to find its way on the optimal lineup, no matter who it is. I don't know what it is with the first fight of the night, but in this situation, I don't really like this fight. I don't really want to play this fight, but on a 9-fight slate, Smith is very tough. I don't necessarily see Azure knocking him out. Maybe he does. As for Smith, I don't really see him scoring high in a win, even though he is, what is he, like 7,200 or 7,000? I don't know. Even if he wins, he just has a grinding style to him, the style that he has. He pushes people up against the cage, tries to take him down. He took John's back for a couple minutes at a time. His style just doesn't really score high unless he is getting a type of submission, and maybe he does, but I don't know. I'm not really interested in this fight. As for a bet, even then, minus 215 is not bad for Azure. I do think he wins. Outside of Smith just really grinding him out and maybe taking him down and finding submission. I mean, Smith is a black belt in BJJ, but I don't know. I think Azure has the better takedown defense. I think he can keep the standing. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if we can trust Azure just of yet. I think he's still a little green. We saw him get knocked out by Kelleher in his last fight. So I'm just going to pass on this fight from a betting perspective. If anything, Azure by decision plus 115 is not a bad line there, but probably just going to pass all around. If you want to take a shot on Smith for DraftKings, go for it. Same with Azure. I think both these guys are going to be extremely low owned, like very low owned. We all know where the chalk's going to gravitate to. There's a couple fights where they're going to be extremely chalky. So if you do want to get different and play some of this fight, you can. I'll have a little bit of it, but just not much of it. So not too much action in this fight. What do you guys feel about this fight? You guys have Azure or Smith? Past fight, Azure could get pushed up against the cage. He might even lose. Not good. Agreed. You have an Azure finish. Okay. I mean, I could see it. Cole Smith's very tough, though. But, Azure does have that power. It's hard analyzing when you mix up the DraftKings. I mean, I typically say, like, from a DraftKings perspective. So thoughts on fight doesn't go to decision. Let's take a look. Plus 165. I do think it's probably going to go to decision there. We need to wait, but I wouldn't be surprised if Azure gets the KO win since he throws with heat and is long. Very true. But I just feel like Smith's going to try to close the distance. I don't know if Azure's going to have many opportunities to land those shots. DFS, do you have any fight night rituals? Not really. Try to get a good night's sleep. Try to sleep in a little bit and try to get all my stuff done the night before. I guess that's a ritual. I like to put a lot of work in, and I think that if you do put the work in, you will get rewarded. So betting Azure, playing majority Cole and DK. I do like that Azure bet, but probably not going to touch it there. Pass fight for sure. Yeah, not a fight I'm overly interested in from a betting perspective or a DraftKings perspective. This fight is something that I am interested in, and it is Alexander Romanov versus Marcos Rogerio de Lima. And this is probably one of the fights I'm most interested in watching here because this Romanov dude, he looks like an absolute beast on tape. This guy is huge. He picks guys up. He throws them around like it's nothing. He picks up these 265-pound guys and just throws them around. A guy I'm really looking forward to see. So I think he was supposed to fight Tybura a couple of weeks ago. And I was actually going to pick Tybura in that fight because I didn't really like what I saw from Romanov on the mat. And Tybura is a BJJ block, but I thought Tybura might be able to submit him. But in this case, this is a perfect matchup for him. I mean, he's 8,400 on DraftKings. I love that price. And, what De Lima struggles with is that takedown defense. We'll take a look at some of the numbers here. And De Lima has a 36% takedown defense going against a very good wrestler. That is just a recipe for disaster there. I mean, I would be a little more concerned in picking Romanov if on tape, like he doesn't go out there and mess around on the feet much. He knows what he wants to do, and that's taking it to the ground. Maybe he'll strike a little bit, but ultimately what he wants to do is take the fight to the ground, and that's what we want. We want We want smart fighters. My bad. And he seems like he's a smart fighter there. So I don't really want to bet the minus 140 there. It's a little too wide for me, but if you guys got it at like plus 100, minus 110, I think that was a good line there, but it's just getting a little too wide for me. Even inside the distance, minus 115, De Lima has never been knocked out. So I don't know, maybe Romanov's able to, get a ground and pound victory and get him out of there, but maybe even submit him as well. But I don't know. I like Romanov to win him. I think he's going to win by some type of TKO. In the second round. I think he's going to grind out De Lima in the first round, get him very tired, and just get him out of there. But as for the De Lima side on DraftKings, he's like 7,800. I mean, it's worth a shot. I mean, we've seen time and time again where these UFC newcomers come in and they don't look anything like they do on tape. Maybe Romanov comes out here with a bad game plan and tries to strike and test the striking with De Lima. That's not going to be a good idea. So I will have both sides of this fight on DraftKings. Minus 675. Fight doesn't go to decision. You pretty much have to have both sides. But yeah, my lean is Romanov. I'm going to have a pretty decent amount, but this is probably going to be one of the fights I'm highest on. I might even have more of this fight than the main event, honestly. So a fight I pretty much really do want to target there. It would be much more interesting if people talked real money numbers instead of units. One guy's unit could be practically nothing compared to another guy's fortune. That is true, but everybody's unit size is different there. We all want the farts. You are right there. Romanov sub, possibly. I wouldn't bet it, though, because I do think he can get a ground and pound victory as well, but we'll see the line there. Romanov by submission is plus 320. It's not awful. It's worth a shot. I got a Lima by Omoplata. I like it. Thank you, Luke. How's Romanov's takedowns and subs? His takedowns are extremely good. His submissions are kind of low level against these lower level guys, but we've seen De Lima tap to some really questionable stuff, so maybe he is able to submit him there. Do you play Classic on DraftKings? Yes, I'm not really into the captain mode there. Put Romanov in a parlay. Don't hate it. Romanov straight in the under 1.5. Again, don't hate it there. All right. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, DFS_numbers. Also, I'm on Instagram now, DFS by the numbers. I'll be posting my final bets sometime tomorrow. And a lot of you guys signed up on Patreon. I opened up this new tier on Patreon because a lot of people that sign up for my DFS stuff, they don't play daily fantasy sports. So what I did was I created a new tier, which is strictly betting content. So whenever I post a bet, I post it out there. And then shortly after I make a video, I have a couple videos out there right now. A lot of you signed up, so thank you for that. Hopefully continue that. It's people said they like it, so hopefully we continue that. And yeah, so next fight, Viviane Arujo versus Montana De La Rosa. I really like Arujo in this fight, and I like the line minus 175. I don't know. I want to play it, but I don't know. I was looking at the decision line plus 140. But, taking a look at the finish stats, like Arujo finishes a lot of her fights. She's finished 88% of her fights. And De La Rosa has been knocked out once. She's been submitted once. I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe just playing it straight. Arujo did look very good at the weigh-ins. So I don't know how her gas tank's going to hold up. That's the only thing I'm worried about was the gas tank. Arujo is a black belt in BJJ. I don't think De La Rosa is going to submit her or nothing. And I think, De La Rosa is going to have a hard time trying to get Arujo to the ground as well. I just like this matchup for her. As for a DraftKings perspective, she's 8,900 on DraftKings. There's other plays I like, but maybe she's able to put a pace on. Maybe she's able to even get a finish. She does land about 4.51 significant strikes per minute compared to De La Rosa's 2.3. She also has a 100% takedown defense. I like that as well, especially in this matchup. And I don't know. I like it. I'm thinking about placing a bet on. I'm still thinking. I haven't done it yet. Would have liked to parlay her, but there's really no parlay pieces on this card. So might just end up hitting that straight. Just not sure yet. But as for DraftKings, maybe some De La Rosa if she's able to get a submission. I just don't see it. I just don't see her scoring high here. So not much De La Rosa for me. If anything, maybe some Viviane Arujo, but not too interested in from a DraftKings perspective. And you'll see that a lot of these fights I'm going to go extremely high on. This isn't one of those fights. Like plus 175, fight doesn't go to decision. Odds are it probably does go to decision. But give me Arujo. Might have a bet on it. Might play her by decision. I don't know yet. Exactly. She could KO her. Parlayed Arujo and Azure, and I'm a little worried. We should always be worried about that women's MMA, but I think she'll be fine there. De La Rosa is the live dog in this fight. This should be a pick'em. Don't necessarily agree, but women's MMA, you'd think that a lot of these fights should be closer to a pick'em there. Be careful with women's MMA. Yes, sir, you are right. Which fight is a guaranteed win? And I'm glad you said that because every single fight on this card does not seem like a guaranteed win. Even the biggest favorite, which I think is Azure, it doesn't seem like a guaranteed win to me. This is not a parlay card. I wouldn't go out here and start parlaying a bunch of guys on this card. It's not going to work out. Definitely not this week. There is going to be a lot of live dogs. How active is your Discord? Pretty active, especially on fight day. We talk pretty much nonstop. We talk during the fights. All that's pretty fun. It should be a stay away. Don't pick anyone. You're probably right there. Last week you needed the women's MMA fights. Very true. Very true. This week, actually the Eubanks and Rosa fight, which was the fight that was pulled off, that was a fight I was going to be very, very high on. And that was a fight I think you would have probably needed. But this fight, I don't know. I don't think so. Exactly. But yeah, let's move on from this fight. Not too much interest from me here. We have 140 in the chat. Thank you guys all so much for hanging out on a Friday evening. This isn't the best card in the world. It's kind of a sleeper card in my opinion. I think it's going to be one of those cards where people are like, this card kind of sucks, but once we start watching it, I think it's going to be good. I think there's going to be a lot of fun fights. The Romanov fight, we'll talk about it next. The Fabinski Muniz, Jalen Turner fight, Kelleher is going to be all these fights on the main card are very, very exciting. So really looking forward to it. All right, next we have the Bartosz Fabinski versus Andre Muniz, and this is my first bet of the night. And a lot of you guys may know this, the guys that are on Patreon. I did a breakdown on it, but I'll talk about it a little bit more here. So I have Muniz at plus 140, and I have 1 unit on that. And I really like that line. I mean, this is a fight that I think should be lined a little bit closer to a pick 'em. I know a lot of people are high on Fabinski, but this is just a good stylistic matchup for Muniz, I think. Fabinski, we know what he's going to do. He comes out here. He's going to get takedowns. Muniz is going to pretty much let him take him down. Muniz does have like a 30% takedown defense, and Fabinski does average 7 takedowns per 50 minutes. It's just Muniz is very, very high level on the mat, and we've seen Fabinski put in some bad spots at times, and that's not going to slide against someone as high level as Muniz here. So I like him to, at some point in the 15 minutes, I think he's going to be on his back for a majority of the fight as long as it lasts. I think he's going to find a sub, or I think he's going to get a sweep or a reversal. And I also thought about maybe Fabinski doesn't want to go to the mat with someone as high level as Muniz, which maybe he doesn't. I don't know. If it's on the feet, you favor Muniz. I think he has more paths to victory. I think he can, win on the feet. I think he can win on the mat. And what you're banking on Fabinski to do is basically grind out a decision and stay safe for 15 minutes with a very, very high level black belt. I think he's a second degree black belt in BJJ. Very good on the mat. For 15 minutes, I don't know. I think that's, a tough task to ask for Fabinski here, So I like Muniz. I like the shot at plus money. I was thinking about submission, but I can honestly see him maybe winning a decision if he wins the fight off his back, maybe gets a sweep. If Fabinski doesn't go for takedowns, or if Muniz is able to stuff the takedowns, I think he can win on the feet as well. And at the weigh-ins, like Muniz looked absolutely huge. He has a huge size advantage. I really like that. But altogether, I do like Muniz. As for DraftKings, though, it's tough because if Fabinski wins, it's going to be optimal. He's someone who scores an absolute ton. So for that reason, I will have a decent amount of Fabinski at 8,600. But I will have some Muniz as well because I do think he is live for that submission, and I do think he locks it up at some point or even wins a decision there. Who do you guys have in this fight? I know Fabinski is going to be extremely popular on DraftKings, and for a good reason as well. I got Muniz at plus 125. I like it. I saw the line go down to like plus 120, and then a lot of money came on Fabinski, and I had to jump on at plus 140. Muniz looked so much bigger than Fabinski at weigh-ins, in my opinion. I like Muniz. Yes, he did. He looked way bigger. I'm back in Muniz by sub. I like it. I thought Fabinski has only been subbed once. Only been subbed because he was rocked first. That's true. Thoughts on Muniz by sub with the hedge of Fabinski by decision. If either wins, then you profit. Yeah. That's good. I think if Fabinski wins, it's most likely by decision. And if Muniz wins, it's most likely by sub. But I can also see a decision for Muniz as well. What's the name of the Discord? The link is in the description. It's my personal Discord where we all talk fights and stuff. And if you guys want to ever ask questions, I'm always pretty good at answering there. Muniz wanted to lose in third round last time, but Aurora didn't want it. Yeah, he did get tired in that Aurora fight. You are right there. I like Muniz. I have a bit of both, maybe Muniz more on DraftKings. Yeah, I think on DraftKings, you've got to play both sides, especially Fabinski. If he wins, it's going to be optimal. I'll tell you guys right now, especially with the fighting style he has with the takedowns, it's going to be optimal. What's up, the Hitman? Do you have your fighter exposures? You are on over or under exactly on premium for DK. Yeah, I have all my exposures on there. Exactly. It's really hard not to take him here, even if I do think he's going to lose. It's a play I do want on DraftKings, but I do have that bet. Like I said, plus 140. I like that a lot there. So getting into the next fight here and another bet. So At the beginning of the week, I looked at the lines and I saw Turner was like plus 170, something crazy like that. And I tweeted it out. I said, one of these lines are off in my opinion. And I thought the Turner line was way off. And then I went back and watched tape, like maybe I was missing something. And I still think that it's off here. I mean, Turner, he's going to have a 7-inch reach advantage. He's going to have a 6-inch height advantage. And I'm not too impressed with Moises. I think Moises' path to victory is only a submission. And you're saying that minus 145. He's going to go out there and get a submission, maybe. But watching back Turner's fights against Frivola, he was taken down like 3 or 4 times. But I liked what I saw from his takedown defense. I mean, Matt Frivola is a better wrestler than Moises, and I don't really think it's even close. And I think Turner can use that range, use that length, stick to the outside. And I just think he's a better striker. I really do. And he throws the more output as well. We'll take a look at some of the numbers here. Moises is very low output, averages 2.68 significant strikes per minute compared to Turner's almost 6 significant strikes per minute. Turner also has a 76% takedown defense. A lot of that was because of Matt Frivola. And I just don't think that Moises is going to be able to, get those takedowns that Matt Frivola did. But if Moises does take Turner down, I will be, very concerned. But, Turner is a brown belt in BJJ. Obviously, Moises is way better on the mat, but he didn't look like a fish out of water on the mat against Frivola. He got in some bad spots, but he was able to get out of it. His submission defense looked pretty good. I just hope this does not touch the mat because then I'll get very, very, very nervous. But I got it at plus 160. I have 1.5 units on it. I love that line. It's now down at plus 135. So beat a very, beat a line there. So, can't complain whatsoever with that line. I think it should be closer to a pick 'em. As for, some of the props here, plus 250 by KO. The thing is, Moises is very tough. He's never been knocked out. I could see Turner honestly winning a decision. That's plus 510. I don't hate that whatsoever. But if Moises wins, it's by submission. I think Turner has the more path to victory. I think Turner can win by knockout. I think Turner can win by decision. I think Moises is submission or bust. And for a plus 160 underdog price, I'm willing to take a shot on that. As for DraftKings, 7,200 for Turner. I like it. I like it a lot. Even if he wins a decision, probably going to hit value there. And he does have that finish upside. He's finished 100% of his fights. He's never won a decision. So this would be his first one. So I do like that 7,200. As for Moises, I will play some because all the ownership's going to go on Turner. Nobody's going to play Moises, and he does have a path to victory where he could score high, and that is a first-round submission. If it gets out of the first round, I don't really think he'll break the slate or anything because he doesn't do much. So give me Turner. I like him on DraftKings. I have a bet on him. And I got a good line at plus 160. Turner KO, plus 350. I don't hate it. Jalen won't fight for your money. He won't fight for his own money. I mean, it seems like Moises landed 1 strike in the Johnson fight last time. I mean, which was crazy, man. That was crazy. And then he got the submission early second round. What? Anyway, let's see here. I got a feeling Moises will get the win by sub. I mean, if he does win, that is his path to victory there. I say Turner decision, LOL, maybe, and that's a maybe. Yeah, I think could get a decision, but I don't know. Finish is definitely on the table. I posted it on Twitter. You guys should go check it out. Like, the size difference is absolutely insane. Turner looks like he's 2 weight classes above. I'm not even joking. It is crazy there. Turner by decision. Sub Brady, what do you think of stacking the main event? I don't think so. I mean, it's going to probably be most likely low output unless, someone's probably going to get finished as well. Sakai does land like almost 5 strikes per minute. Overeem lands about 3.5. So I don't really necessarily see a stack, especially since there's a lot of live underdogs. If there weren't many underdogs that I think could win, I might take a look at stacking them in event. But Moises is out, just got announced. Somebody let me know if that's true. If not, let me know. If it's true, that sucks. But just somebody let me know because I don't know. Turner for me. Any fights to stack this week on DraftKings? I was thinking like the Rosa Eubanks, especially for cash, because there was going to be a lot of output. We'll see it next week though. We'll talk about it more. But no, not really. No stack for me. I know last week we saw a stack end up on the optimal, but last week like no underdogs won. I mean, I think the only underdog that won was Viana, and she was 8,000. Yeah, we're trying to find out if this fight is off. Someone let me know in the chat so we can confirm that on here. If it's off, I mean, hopefully they find a new opponent for Turner, but I don't know. I don't know, but we'll get into the next fight. You know, as I said, somebody let me know in the chat if that is off. But Brian Kelleher versus Kevin Natividad. Kelleher is minus 215 and Natividad is plus 195. I mean, I think Kelleher wins this fight. I'm not gonna lie, I was impressed with Natividad. It's just, you know, Kelleher is the more experienced guy. He's the more dangerous guy. Kelleher is very, very tough. He's been knocked out once by John Lineker, but other than that, he has very good chin. Usually when Kelleher is losing, it is by either a decision or by a submission. He's been submitted 6 times, and I do give the ground advantage here to Kelleher. 1 second. It looks like it's on. It's not off. All right, thank you. So whoever said that it's off, come on. Anyway, but back to this fight. Kelleher, I think he gets it done. I think he could also, you know, maybe go for a takedown and maybe find a submission here. If it stays on the feet, I don't know. I'm kind of iffy about it. Natividad is going to have a decent reach advantage. He's going to have about a 6.5-inch reach advantage. And, you know, Kelleher is someone who, you know, typically gets outstruck a lot. He absorbs 6 strikes per minute. So I don't know. I think Natividad is live here. I really do. I wouldn't go out there and parlay, you know, Brian Kelleher, especially at this price. Usually when you play Kelleher, you want him at it as an underdog. So I don't know. I'm going to have some Natividad on DraftKings. I don't really want to bet him. I don't want to bet this UFC newcomer. I do think Kelleher wins, but man, it's just a really sketchy fight. It really is. But as for DraftKings, you know, Kelleher, 9,200. Pretty much you can build any lineup you want. So if you do like Kelleher, feel free to get him in there. I think if he wins, maybe it's by finish. Natividad has been knocked out once. It was like in the first 10 seconds, something like that. But I think if Natividad tries to take down Kelleher, you know, Natividad could be in some danger. You know, Kelleher has a good ground game. He really does. So I don't know. It's a tough fight to call. I'm going to lean Kelleher, but I don't know. Really tough fight. Natividad, he is the cheapest on DraftKings at 7,000. I think it's worth a shot. You know, Kelleher is, you know, he's been submitted 6 times. He's been knocked out once. He's been finished 7 times. And I think it's worth a shot for some Natividad. But this is not a fight I would touch from a betting perspective. If anything, minus 140, fight doesn't go to decision. I like that. And I'm assuming the under is probably minus 115, minus 120. I don't hate that. Kelleher inside the distance is plus 165. Not a bad line. Natividad inside the distance plus 330. Don't love it, but yeah, the under might be something I'll look at. So tune into, you know, all my social media. I'll post it out. If you guys are on Patreon, I'll get that out tonight if I do take a look at that. There are some spots I'm looking at. I have 3 bets so far, and we went over 2 so far, Turner and Muniz, both underdogs. And there is one more we'll go over in a little bit, but there are some spots I am looking at. All right, so what's up, Brian Kelleher? Bet the house, the wife, and the dogs on me. All right, good luck. Hey, good luck tomorrow, Brian. You parlay Brian, good luck to you. Will this fight with Kelleher and Kevin be in the optimal? I think it could, and I think it will be at low ownership. It's one of these fights that people are probably going to overlook, and this is the fight that I think it could be a sneaky fight that does finish, especially with the styles of both guys. Like, they're going to go in there and they're going to brawl. I really like what I saw with Natividad. He's a brawler, and so is Kelleher. So I think it's going to be a good fight. Would you parlay Kelleher? Personally, not myself. I'm not going to do a parlay this week. Guys, we all won on easy favorites last week. That is true. Every dog is live. You are right. You are right. I think there's a lot of live dogs there. Talked about it. Yeah, I like the under where the fight doesn't go to decision there. Azure, Kelleher, parlay. I do think that will be popular. It's just not something I'm going to do. I wish you luck on that. I will show this clown some tricks. Again, best of luck to you, Kelleher. Try to get this guy down, find a submission there. Agreed. Lots of dogs. Yep, there is lots of dogs on this card. The dogs are going to be barking. Let's see here. All right, so we'll get to the next fight. We're at about 30 minutes, halfway done. And we have the fight of the night. This is the people's main event, the fight we have all been waiting for. Michel Pereira versus Zalim Imidazov. And this fight is tough to call for so many reasons. If you guys have not seen the interview of Michel Pereira, go take a look at it. It is one of the funniest things I've saw all week. I mean, he said that he was trained for his training camp. He was at a farm and he was training with cows. He was taking down cows and he was running with the horses. What? What? So I'm picking Pereira, but hearing that, like, I don't know about you guys, but that doesn't sound so great, I mean, taking down cows. I mean, that's awesome. That is awesome. But what? This guy is absolutely insane. I think he's talented, but you just can't trust him with your money. You really can't. In the Roberts fight, his first fight, his UFC debut, I thought this guy was a fraud. I really did. Watching tape on him, I thought he fought a bunch of nobodies. He fought a 0-0 guy in 2018. He went out there and he knocked out Roberts. I thought, okay, maybe this guy is the real deal. And then he went out there against Tristan Connolly and pulled the biggest stunt, one of the biggest stunts I have ever seen. Backflips, cartwheels, Superman punches, gassing out in the first 3 minutes, and then getting beat by a guy that looked like he was 2 weight classes below him. And then after that, we thought, okay, Diego Sanchez, fantastic matchup. Sanchez is done. And then he went out there, he looked fantastic. And then an illegal knee. It's just hard. It's hard to put money on this guy. It's hard to play him on DraftKings. You really can't trust him, but I do think he gets it done. I think he's the more skilled fighter there. I heard a rumor that he's going to, someone told me this, I don't know if it's true, but he said he's going to go back to his what he does best, like the front flips and the back flips and all that, and the cartwheels. He said he's going to do that in this fight. I don't know if he is. I think he should not. If he doesn't do that, I think he's very live to win. But if he does do the back flips and the Superman punches and the front flips and everything, like, Imidazov can definitely win. So this is a fight you're going to want to have both sides of. I see a lot of people betting this fight either way. I see a lot of action on both sides. I couldn't do it personally. I couldn't put my money on one of these guys, man. But it's going to be a fun fight. Fight of the night, in my opinion, for sure. Hopefully we do see some flips because I think it's hilarious. I really do. So give me Pereira. Not confident in it. Probably my least confident pick on the whole card. You just can't trust the guy. But as for a bet, I would say the under, but both guys are, Imidazov's been knocked out once in like 10 fights. Pereira's been knocked out once in like 20-something fights. So I don't know. I guess I would lean the under if it was a decent price. But other than that, I'm not going to touch this fight. I'm just going to sit back and relax and watch it and play it on DraftKings. You do want both sides on this. It's 8,000, 8,200. Pereira burned me versus Garbage Diego Sanchez. Sanchez quit his gym and was training with the Voodoo Witch Doctor. Very true there. Imidazov has never impressed me. Exactly. He's never impressed me as well. I question the fight IQ of a fighter who backflips and gasses out at the 4-minute mark of the first round. Very, very true. But he looked good in the Sanchez fight. He looked good up until that illegal knee. Pereira cost me a lot of money on the Sanchez fight. He is, for sure. You really can't trust this guy. Do you get points on DK for the flips? If you did, I would just lock in Pereira right now because I do think there's going to be some flips there. Fight doesn't go to decision, plus minus 200 playable. Yeah, I think it's playable. Maybe throw it in a parlay. But, I think this does end inside the distance. Any bets just tuned in? Yeah, I'll go over them real quick. I have Turner at plus 160, 1.5 units on that. And I have Muniz plus 140, 1 unit on that. And then we're going to talk about my next play next here. Taking down cows. Yeah, he went out there and he took down cows. I wish we, got a video of it so I can watch it and have a good laugh. But that's what he did. That's what he did. He took down cows. He ran with the horses. So let's see how that plays out for him. With that said, he did look in phenomenal shape at the weigh-in. So I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it. No, that's not the real Kelleher. Definitely like these guys in DK, but never in my life will I bet these guys again. You are right. I would never bet any of these guys, but it's a good fight to target on DK. All right, getting into the co-main event here, and we're at about 35 minutes. We have 160 people in the chat. Thank you all for hanging out. If you guys can please hit that like button, would really appreciate that a lot. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Again, would appreciate that a ton. Recently got 6,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for that. That's awesome. So next fight here, Alonzo Minifield versus Ovin St. Preux. And I don't know, this fight, I have my next bet here, and I like it quite a bit. I have Minifield at -130. I have 1.5 units on it. I did bet this 2 weeks ago. That fight did fall through, and then we're fighting again now. OSP popped for COVID, and we're good to go now. But -130, I like it quite a bit. A lot of people are on the other side, but I don't see many people betting OSP this time around. I saw a lot more action last time they fought, but it doesn't seem like a lot of people are betting OSP this time. But that's a little weird there. But I have Minifield, like I said, -130. I like the matchup for him. I really do. There's a lot of talks about Minifield's cardio. He looked fantastic on the scales. We talked about it, a couple weeks ago, but in an interview, he said that he's been working on his cardio nonstop as soon as that fight was over. I also heard a rumor that he wasn't really taking Clark seriously. He said he was, going out to clubs and all that, and just not taking the fight as serious as he should. And it definitely showed, but it does look like he's been working on his cardio. And I do have questions about OSP's cardio. I mean, coming off of having COVID, having to cut, he cuts a ton of weight, having to do that again within a 2-week span. And he's someone who doesn't have the best gas tank to begin with. People are acting like, Minifield has, a 10 times worse gas tank. That's not true. Like OSP's gas tank is not that bad as well. So in the Devin Clark fight, I saw a lot of things that I liked. People are only bringing out negative things in that fight, but Minifield, his takedown defense looked absolutely fantastic. He was able to stuff like 9 out of 10 takedowns from Devin Clark, who has a wrestling background unlike OSP. And I don't know, I liked what I saw. I really did. But the thing is, we do got to worry about that gas tank. If Minifield does try to get OSP out of there and OSP is able to survive, maybe Minifield does gas out. But I don't know. I think he gets it done here. Minifield by KO +140. I didn't touch that because honestly, I can see Minifield even winning by decision here. As crazy as that sounds, I really can see it. But because OSP is tough, he's been knocked out twice. He's been submitted 3 times, but he does get dropped in like every single fight he's in, it seems like. So I do like Minifield here. I like it quite a bit on DraftKings. I love it at 8,300 for someone who does have a first-round knockout upside. I love it. And then OSP, if Minifield does gas out like everybody thinks, maybe he's able to get a submission. But if he wants a submission, he's got to take it to the ground. I don't know. Minifield was gassed really bad, and he was still stuffing these takedowns from, Clark, who's a good wrestler. So I don't know. I don't really see him getting it to the ground. With that said, if he does, he's probably going to submit him. I just don't see it happening. So I do like that line. I wish a lot more people would bet OSP. It just doesn't seem like people are going to bet it this time around, maybe because of the COVID. Maybe people are staying away from that. But I did get Minifield at -130 there. So what do you guys think of this fight? Heard OSP COVID was a false positive. Was it? I don't know. Both guys that look good on the scales might be better fight with the break. And he tested positive, but I don't think he had any symptoms. Very true. Both guys looked fantastic, especially Minifield. Minifield is leaner now. He sure is. And I saw a picture on Twitter a couple weeks ago. I posted on my Twitter myself, and he looked fantastic. He looks slimmed down. He looks ready to go. Minifield max bet time. I wouldn't go that far, but I hopefully the bet hits there. Minifield is okay. He used to be more bulky. Very true. OSP will fall if Minifield pressures patiently. Yep, I agree. Like, be patient in this fight. Don't go out there and try to, get the finish right away. Be patient there. Exactly. Exactly. But OSP did look good on the scales there. What's up, Chris Pinnell? How are you doing, man? Minifield by decision. Yeah. I mean, I think it's possible. I mean, hopefully knocks him out. Minifield by decision is +435. I just played it straight. The line's, it's playable straight. So, let's see here. Is Minifield -145 playable? I can't decide. I have enough of an edge, but I don't know. I would play it all the way up to like -150. If it went to like -155, I wouldn't play it. But I did think the line throughout the week would come down to like +115 like it did last time. But it just seems like people don't have that same confidence in OSP this week. Got to hope Minifield doesn't go Agapova and gas out after 2 minutes. Very true. I think he learned his lesson, got the first loss out of the way, learned his lesson from that Clark fight. But getting into the main event here, and just to remind you guys, as always, I'll be doing my betting breakdown. Of course, I'll have all my stuff done on Patreon probably tonight as well. I'm doing a betting article that should be done late tonight. I'll put the link in the description for that. A lot of you guys signed up for. Thank you for that. But, the betting breakdown, as always, on Saturday morning, it'll be out very early. just talking about this card strictly from a betting perspective. If I do add some bets, I'll also talk about them there as well. But yeah, getting to the main event here, and I don't know. This is a tough fight to call. It's very tough. A lot of people have a lot of confidence in this fight either way. I see people saying, Overeem 100%, like Sakai's going to get this done. I don't know. It's a tough fight because I think Overeem's the better fighter. I think he's better everywhere besides the durability. And at heavyweight, like that's an important, thing to have, the durability. Like Overeem's been knocked out 13 times, which is probably the most I've ever seen. That's a ton. I know he's a lot of fights, but still he's getting knocked out a ton. And, Sakai doesn't have the most power in the world, but he does hit hard. And I don't know. This is a tough fight. I'm going to go with Sakai, especially at an underdog price. I think this should be honestly closer towards a pick'em. I would not bet Overeem at, minus 160 because of those chin issues. I would never bet Overeem at this point with those chin issues. He gets dropped, hurt, or knocked out in pretty much every fight. And Sakai hits hard. He does. He doesn't hit like Francis Ngannou hard or Rosenstruck hard, but he hits hard. 73% finish rate for Sakai, all by knockout. He's lost by decision once. Sakai does have a 83% takedown defense. I think he's been taken down once in the UFC. His takedown defense looks good. And Overeem is not really someone that comes out there and tries to, have a wrestling heavy game plan. He averages about a little over one takedown per 15 minutes. I don't know. I like this fight for Sakai here. I really do. And it's mostly a fade of that Overeem chin. And I don't know if it goes to decision. I don't know. It's up to Overeem and how he fights here. I think if Overeem comes in here with a grappling and wrestling heavy game plan, he can for sure win. But if he stands and strikes with Sakai for 25 minutes, do you guys think his chin can hold up for a whole 25 minutes? And Sakai looked good on the scales. It looked like he lost some weight. He slimmed down a little bit. So I'm assuming his gas tank's going to be pretty decent. And his gas tank's good in general. So I think I'll have no problem going the full 25 if need be. But I do think someone's going to get finished. And I think if someone gets finished, it's going to be Overeem. I mean, Sakai has an absolute chin on him. He really does. He has an absolute chin. He can take shots. And I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but watching tape, I don't think Overeem has that same pop on his punches nowadays that he used to. I was watching some of his past couple fights. It doesn't look like he has that same pop. Sakai has a good chin. So if we're talking durability, and that's basically why I'm going with Sakai here, is the durability, because it is a big factor for me personally, and it should be for a lot of other people, but I'm going to go with Sakai. And it sucks because, Overeem, he is the better fighter, and he should win this fight, but can he last 25 minutes with someone, a heavyweight that has some power? I don't think so. So I'm going to pick Sakai. I might bet this. This might be my fourth play. I haven't done it yet. So, tune into my social media, or if you guys are on Patreon, I might put it out tonight, but it's at plus 150. And I did want to wait because this got down to like plus 130 for Sakai. And I was going to wait for the money to come in on Overeem because obviously everybody knows Overeem. He's a fan favorite. So the money is going to come in. So I might wait a little bit longer. If I can get plus 160, I like that line. Anything over plus 150, I love a ton because I do think that should be closer to a pick'em. Plus 255 by KO is something else I was looking at, but I don't know. Maybe he can win a decision as well. He throws. We'll take a look at the striking stats, but he throws a decent amount. Sakai does. Sakai throws 5.45 significant strikes per minute compared to Overeem's 3.66. So I don't know. I like Sakai here. I'm going to pretty much load up on DraftKings. 7,400. It's really hard, for a main event guy, someone with upside, someone with KO upside. It's really hard to pass up that 7,400. But at the same time, I will have some Overeem, just not as much because 8,800, if he wins, he'll probably score high. I just don't see him knocking out Sakai. Maybe he does, especially if he takes him to the ground or tires him out. Maybe he finishes him late. But if Overeem wins the decision, I don't know if he's going to be on the optimal lineup. Because, these guys aren't going to throw the most volume, most likely. So, I don't know. I do like Sakai as a bet, potentially. Haven't done it yet, but I'll be looking into it a little bit more. And then I do like Sakai on DraftKings, but I will have some Overeem. Overeem nearly went the distance against Rosenstruck. Sakai will be easier for him. I mean, Rosenstruck doesn't really have the ground game of Sakai, and it's not even close. Like, Sakai has a brown belt in BJJ. He has better takedown defense. It's really not comparable. Brady, we may have missed the movement, but my book had Overeem as low as minus 145, and he's back up to minus 160. That is true. I think more money will continue to to come on him, to be put on. I'm sorry, I had to get somebody out of the chat here. All right. Betting favorites are 16-9 in UFC headliners this year, but I simply can't trust Overeem's chin. Have to go Sakai even despite the man boobs. Yeah, Cody coming in here with some more stats. He always comes in here with these nice stats. So 16-9 this year, which is, it's all right, but yeah, can't trust his chin. All right, Overeem can still do some tricky stuff there. He could. I think he's the better Bucks Lakers parlay. What are the odds on that? That does sound interesting there. Walt Harris couldn't knock out Overeem, so I don't think Sakai can. Overeem trains at elevation, so his cardio is there versus Sakai who trains at sea level. I will take Overeem. I mean, we can't really compare these. We can't compare the Rosenstruks or the Harrises. Harris, was tired after those first couple minutes, Sakai's not going to get tired like that. What do you think of the Overeem Sakai over 2.5 at even money? Even money. I think the first few rounds will be a feel out and probably finish in the later rounds. I don't hate that. Yeah, Sakai has a good gas tank, especially compared to, we just talked about Walt Harris. Like, he has a way better gas tank. All right, so now I'm going to touch over my 3 bets that I have, and then we'll get into some questions, go over my favorite underdogs on DraftKings. So 3 bets I have, Andre Muniz plus 140, have 1 unit on that. Jalen Turner plus 160, have 1.5 units on that. And then Alonzo Minifield minus 130, have 1.5 units on that. And of course, I'm looking at some more bets. It's almost a guarantee I will have at least one more bet for you guys. So make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, DFS_numbers, Instagram, DFS by the numbers, or I'll be doing my betting breakdown tomorrow, as always. Most, confident picks, there's not much. There really isn't much, but I guess I'll go with Romanov. Azure is, decently confident. Arujo, I like. I like the underdogs of Muniz and Turner. Kelleher, not overly confident in that. Pereira, it's really hard to be confident in that fight. I like Minifield, and then it's not really confident in the Sakai fight as well, but I do have him winning there. And then as for underdogs, this is more from a DraftKings perspective. Sakai at 7,400, beautiful. OSP, maybe he's able to weather the early storm. Maybe Minifield does gas out like people think, and maybe he does get him down like people think. I don't know. Maybe worth a shot. Imidazov at 8,000, worth a shot as a fade on Pereira. Natividad, I think it's worth a couple lineups. I think he's live. He's a brawler. He's a tough guy. He's going to have a big reach advantage, a decent striker. Worth a shot. Turner, obviously a fantastic underdog play, probably one of the highest owned underdogs on the slate, 7,200. Muniz, if he gets that sub and if he gets it in the first, second round, could be optimal. And then other than that, Taylor Rosa, don't really like. I was thinking maybe she gets a sub, but, Arujo is pretty high level on the mat herself. Lima is a decent underdog option as well, because if he does win, it's probably by knockout, and it's probably early, and then not interested in the last fight there. So pretty much, a lot of these fights you are going to want to target both sides on DraftKings. It's one of those weeks we don't have a big favorite. All these lines are very close. The biggest favorite is Azure and Kelleher at minus 215. And I'm not overly confident in either of those plays there. So, all right. So for the next, we're going to stop a little bit earlier today. I do have some stuff going on, but we're at 48 minutes. I'll take the next 5 minutes to answer any questions. Good card. I agree. If Moises can't leg lock Turner, then MJ just released. MJ, I have some thoughts about MJ. He's got me in the past for sure. Has Natividad ever fought at featherweight? I can go check that pretty soon here, but Turner is my boy. Let's go plus 160. I like it there. Appreciate you getting your picks to us early. Haven't been locking my best till Saturday mornings now with so many last-minute pullouts. That's a good point. I have been, a little bit hesitant to place like a parlay or a bet because of these weigh-ins and with so much stuff playing, but how it plays out, but I don't know. Turner stinks. I mean, so does Moises in that case. Turner could be on the optimal if he wins. Very true. I got Turner at plus 155. I like it. How do we feel about parlaying Muniz and Minifield? I wouldn't parlay an underdog. If you do like Muniz, you might as well just bet him straight. I can't play DK Sportsbook. Is in UK. Is DK Fantasy good? Yeah, it's pretty good. I I normally do my non-ups late at night. Same here. 0 dislikes, 0 haters for DFS. And yeah, I mean, last week I had 0 haters for like the first time ever. It was awesome. It really means that I probably had a good card last week. So hopefully another 0 hater week this week. There's always that one guy. If I do get at least one fight wrong, they'll come on and say something. But I'll definitely hear it if Minifield does lose this fight, because I did talk a lot of crap all week. Minifield can still throw smoke even when gassed. Yes, he can. And he can still stuff those takedowns, which is very important. Are you doing the odds panel tonight? I believe so. I think we're going live at 9 p.m. And I think we're having Cody Saftik on there as well. Overeem Sakai over 2.5. I wouldn't really touch the 3.5. Maybe the 2.5 if it is even money. Let's get that cash money. People, good luck. Nice breakdown. Appreciate it, Dan. Pereira is always fun to watch. Very, very true. Who is Ray Rodriguez? Why was on the scale? It was just in case. I guess Natividad had a false positive or something like that. I don't know what happened there, but it was late at night. I saw that, someone said Natividad's off the card, but I guess it was just a false. What do you think of Cosmat fighting Mearshart and then fighting Damian Maia? I think that's hilarious. I don't know. Who would you guys have in that fight? I think I would go Cosmat. I think I would go Cosmat against Mearshart. I bet the dog straight and then put them in a value parlay. Decent there. Every dog is live, but I actually have every favorite. Wow. I think Moises is coming to dislike the video. He very well could. He very well could. Looking forward to the odd stream tonight. Let's get that bread. Let's get it. I'll let you hear when Overeem wins. Haha, just kidding. Thank you for the hard work on the channel. I hope Overeem wins. I mean, I'll be rooting for him. I like Overeem. I'm not a big fan of Sakai. It's just really hard to trust him with that chin. Great breakdown. Brady enjoyed, and let's hopefully nail it again this card. Yeah, last card was fantastic. Have been having some really good bets lately. Hopefully can keep it going this week. You think OSP can take Minifield down and sub him? I don't think that, but maybe he does. If he does, he's live for a sub. I just don't see him being able to get Minifield down, but maybe I'm wrong. What's up, Brady? Give them a 3-leg parlay. Personally not doing any parlays this week, but if I had to pick a 3-legger, I guess Azure, De Lima, Romanov fight doesn't go to decision. And then maybe the Overeem Sakai fight doesn't go to decision. I don't know. Who was the most confident pick of the night? Man, I guess Azure or Arujo. I think I'm confident in her. Appreciate it and rad. Top 3 scorers this week. I'm going to say Minifield. I'm going to say Romanov, and then give me. I want to say either Fabinski or the winner of Fabinski and Muniz. Turner, Minifield, Muniz, Romanov, Arujo, Kelleher. Let's get it. Thank you, Sosa, for the donation. OSP by sub. I mean, it's possible. I just don't really see it happening. If Reem loses, what does he do next? I don't know. He's, 40 years old, almost 42. I don't know. What do you mean you're not a fan of Sakai and it's hard to trust? I meant it's hard to trust Overeem. I mean, Sakai has a fantastic chin. Overeem's the one that we can't trust with his chin. All right, guys, I'm going to head out. I'm going to start working on some articles for tonight/tomorrow morning. I really appreciate all you guys hanging out on a Friday evening on a card that is not the best. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't yet. If you guys do want to check out the Patreon, a lot of you guys have signed up. I added a tier, which is strictly betting content. Lots of great content out there. Thank you all for hanging out, and good luck tomorrow. And yeah, let's have another good week. It was a fantastic week last week. Really looking forward to this week, and hopefully we have another winning week. Thanks, Brady. Yep, see you, Sloppy. Thanks for coming in and hanging out tonight. See you, Thomas. See you, Dave. See you guys. Again, good luck.